Alright, quick update on Quant. So I think it's really clear cut what's happening today. So this video is going to be pretty short and concise. Jumping right into it though, you can still see the uptrend that I've got planned out here on the daily for Quant is still very much playing out to effect. So in my opinion, we've had a strong retest of the bottom of this this needs to be green for support really. We've had a nice retest of the support around 123 and we've started to move up very strongly. So the EMA ribbons flipped green once we did enter this massive uptrend on Quant, and we are currently heading back into the EMA ribbons right now. So in my opinion, if Quant wants to succeed, if Quant wants to remain bullish, we really need to start breaking above at least 133. Otherwise, if we keep on hanging out around this region, if we get rejected off the long-term moving average, which is basically at 129 where we are now, then we could start to head down, start retesting the floor of this, and it could get quite shaky because the short-term moving average on the daily, if we do keep on hanging around this region, is going to flip the long-term moving average, which is going to cause the EMA ribbons to flip bearish, and at which point I believe that the squeeze mom, which is the squeeze momentum indicator, is going to start heading to the downside. Now I really like trading the squeeze mom. I much prefer it as a momentum indicator over the MACD. If you've never heard of this, like I said, it is really a momentum indicator that measures momentum when it does start to pick up. You can see previously whenever we start to switch red on the squeeze mom, it does entail a massive landslide, and once we switch red on this again, we only headed down a tiny bit in this instance, to be fair, but we are currently green. We're heading into dark green, which is not too good, and we could be about to start to lose momentum. Now what I think could potentially play out is a brief fake out down to the 786 Fibonacci. This is at $111, and in my opinion this is, you could also draw it to the candle wick close down here. I'll also keep this as a potential target at 104, but these regions here, these really need to hold, because if we don't hold these regions, then in my opinion, Quant could start to landslide off the table. So this is really what I see on the daily. If we don't hold this uptrend round about 123, for starters, we need to start pushing above 133. If you're watching this in a day or 8 hours or 2 days time, and we're not above 133, then these EMA ribbons are probably going to flip bearish, and it is probably going to cause Quant to at least come down to the first 786 target. Let me line this up here. Approximately $112, and then if we don't hold that, we need to hold 104. So I imagine there would also be psychological support around the $100. So I really want to round this up to a range. Anywhere between $112 and $100 I do believe needs to hold, because if we don't hold these regions, then momentum is definitely going to switch to the downside on the squeeze mom, and we are going to start to head down. But so far the uptrend is still intact on the daily. We are still looking good, but like I said, we need to push above 133. If we keep on hanging out around this region, then the daily EMA ribbons are going to start to flip bearish, and we are going to pick up momentum on the squeeze mom, which is going to carry us down, potentially up to about 23%. We could even have a fake out just below 100, but I would be keeping my eyes on $100. As long as we don't have a daily close below 100, then I am still bullish on Quant, because the uptrend is still intact. We bounced off this very nicely. We didn't even have a close on this below this on the 4-hourly. And looking at what's going on the 4-hourly, you can see that the squeeze mom, the momentum indicator, is heading into dark red, which means that we are losing momentum on the selling side of things, and we could in the very short term start to push up above 133, and then hopefully switch this short-term EMA into a buy signal again, which probably would allow the daily to still remain bullish. So this is really your hopium level. Around 133 is where we need to start pushing up on the daily, but for the 4-hourly, we really need to get above $136, otherwise this could be a rejection. So I have my eyes on 136. If we start pushing up above 136, then I do believe we are going to be very bullish. But like I said, if we have a move below 123, I would have to assume that we are going to come down to anywhere between $112 and $100. So like I said, the uptrend is still very much intact. Momentum in the short term is starting to fail to the downside. So it is starting to look good. We've had a nice retest of this. We could start to pick up momentum to the upside now that we are losing momentum to the downside. And once again on the daily, you know, we are starting to head down. So we really need to have a breakout above those levels that I said, around 133 and 136. Personally, I'm a conservative trader. I'd like to see it flip 136 and then start to head up. I'd be a lot more bullish on it then. But from what I can see, we are, you know, I do believe this is definitely the bottoming region for Quant. We've come down below the 786 and we've had a nice move back above it. So the uptrend is still intact. As long as this uptrend is intact, then I really wouldn't be getting out of bed too much. And like I said, we're having a strong bounce. And, you know, I do believe potentially Bitcoin could have one more flush out before we are in the clear. So if Bitcoin has a flush out, then, you know, we could expect price targets as low as $100. So I am sitting on the sidelines for Quant until we do have more confluence coming into the market. But as a general rule of thumb, the uptrend is still very much intact and we're above both the 786 Fibonacci. So, you know, while we are above these levels, then, you know, it is slightly possible that this is the bottoming region and we could be starting to head up to the $180, which is the 618 Fib. I really don't want to say that is my price target because it is not my price target anymore. We really didn't pick up enough momentum on the EMA ribbons for me to kind of be able to say that I'd be looking to take this trade. So I'm really sitting on the sidelines. I do like this uptrend that we are seeing right now, but nonetheless, we do need to start pushing up above at least 133 to 136. Otherwise, the squeeze momentum indicator is going to carry us into a downtrend. So that is all I see for Quant. Best of luck if you're in it. Once again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion on the market. And you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.